I was just live streaming on YouTube. That's why it was taking time.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Great. And it's really very nice to have you here.
It's so nice, Shipra. Nice to be here.
Yes. Thank you. So let's start. And I was just live streaming on YouTube. That's why it was taking time. Wait a minute. How are you? Great. And it's really very nice to have you here. Yeah. Okay. So, gratitude, greetings, and good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Shipra Effect, and I'm your host, Shipra. And this podcast is where we deep dive into the minds of extraordinary people who are changing lives, breaking barriers, and redefining success. And today we have a truly inspiring guest with us, and she is Jyoti Pande. With over 35 years of experience, she, as a psychologist, transformational storyteller, mindfulness coach, and an educationist, she has shaped thousands of lives, trained educators across the country, and even led mental health and happiness programs for the Indian Army as well and their families. So, today we are going to deep dive into the insights of her and her game changing wisdom. So, a very warm welcome, Jyoti.
Thank you so much. It's lovely to be here.
Thank you. So, Jyoti, you have 35 years of experience in education, psychology, and storytelling. So, what has been the most profound lesson this journey has taught you about human potential?
Well, I have been kind of taking sessions in corporates, army, teachers with children. And one thing I have realized is that nobody is limited by the past or where they were born or how they were born, which family. They're only limited by the stories they tell themselves. If I tell a story that I'm not good enough, I
Mm,
cannot do this, it
mm,
indirectly becomes my truth.
right.
So that is the wisdom I have gained over the years. So I'm
Mm,
very conscious of what my thoughts are and what are the stories I'm telling myself.
mm,
So that
right.
is one thing I feel anybody can change or transform by changing the story
By
that
changing.
they have been telling, and it's here in thoughts.
Right. Exactly. And this is very important. What is the story that we are telling ourselves? It
Yeah.
is very important. And we can change also. This is very simple, I would say, but it needs practice. It's not easy.
Yes, absolutely. Once you get that awareness, and most of us get that many a times, that I
Hmm.
need to change something, I need to get up in the morning, or I need
Right.
to, focus on health.
Hmm.
Sometimes that awareness comes, but unless we take action,
Hmm.
awareness, action is also very
Very
important.
important.
You know,
Right.
we
Hmm.
all know we shouldn't eat sweets. It's not
Hmm.
good for health. But
Right.
there are people who would kind of switch over to,
Hmm.
having plain tea or not
Hmm.
having sweets. So
Hmm.
awareness and actions are the two most important things.
Right, exactly. And also, Jyoti, you have worked with the army. You have trained thousands of educators also and transformed lives through storytelling. So, what's one unforgettable story that changed you also in the process?
Uh, I was taking a session for Army in Hyderabad, and
Hmm.
I was talking about purpose of life, finding your purpose.
Right. Hmm.
And a lady, she was a homemaker, and she
Hmm.
said, "What is my purpose? I'm just a homemaker."
Right.
So
Hmm.
I said, if you do not have a clear purpose,
Hmm.
everything you do can
Hmm.
be done with a purpose. So I said, you make chapatis. She said,
Right.
what's the big deal in making
Big deal.
chapatis every day?
Yes.
So
Hmm.
I told her, now while making chapatis, if you feel it is
Hmm.
just making chapatis, that is kind of putting you down. But if
Average.
you
Ah,
tell
right.
yourself
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
I am creating a healthy child who
Hmm.
will grow up to become something in future, I'm giving him hot chapatis, hot meal,
Hmm.
wholesome food, how
Hmm.
will you feel? And she started crying. She said, I never thought about it. I just used to feel I'm just a homemaker. So
Right.
I am all for homemakers.
Hmm.
Anything you do,
Hmm.
oh, if you start finding purpose in that, even washing
Hmm.
clothes, that my
Right.
child will wear neatly ironed clothes and go to
Exactly.
school and feel so happy.
Yes.
And
Hmm.
then the things change. So
Hmm.
it's not about big things, it's
Hmm.
about small things and
Hmm.
seeing the larger picture,
Right.
how you are impacting.
Hmm.
Even dusting, just simple thing. If
Right.
you feel, ki, oh, I'm just dusting, it's a mundane thing. But if
Hmm.
you feel that I am creating clean space in my house, it
Exactly.
will change the things. So
Hmm.
that is it. The
Right.
story about that woman,
Hmm.
now I'm also very mindful when I
Hmm.
do these small things which we feel कि इसमें क्या है, प्लेट
Isme.
लगा रहे हो इसमें क्या है.
Hmm.
But I say when I put the plates for eating, I said, oh, I'm feeding my family.
Right.
So that is the thing.
And this is really a wow perspective, I would say, because ऐसा मैंने खुद ने कभी ऐसा नहीं सोचा था, which you are telling ना, कि we need to find purpose in everything which do. Like I am doing this live right now.
Right.
I can find purpose in this also. कि I am helping people know more about many things which they don't even know. Like you have told right now about that story, find the purpose. So
True.
it is really very good.
हम हमेशा यही सोचते हैं ना कि लाइक द फर्स्ट थॉट दैट कम्स इज कौन आएगा मेरे लाइफ में, क्या ही हो जाएगा मैं एक लाइफ करके, इतने सारे
Right.
कोचेस पड़े हैं. बट
Hmm.
यू स्टार्ट थिंकिंग दैट
Hmm.
आई एम क्रॉस आई एम व्हाट शुड आई से रीचिंग अ स्टेप अहेड इन.
Exactly.
तीन लोगों ने देखा लाइक दिस स्टोरी,
Hmm.
it's good enough. It's not
Right.
that you need to change the whole universe.
Yes.
So
Hmm.
that is how I look at it. Even if one person gets transformed, it's good enough for me.
Hmm. Right. And also, Jyoti, as you said about mindfulness, that you are practicing it also, and you are a happiness coach also. You give
True.
coaching around that. And but you have been actively also shaping lives through them, through this mindfulness and happiness. So, what's one aha moment that made you realize the true power of this?
Once I'll be very honest and vulnerable. We were having I would say, argument, actually, a heated argument I was having with my husband.
Hmm.
And suddenly something came up.
Hmm.
I just became quiet. I just became quiet.
Hmm.
And I started listening to him intently.
Right.
Otherwise, what would happen? He's saying something, I'm saying
I
something,
see.
and
Hmm.
both of us are not listening to each other.
Hmm. Right.
And I just stood and started listening to each other, to him.
Hmm.
And that was the moment I felt that I created a pause between a reaction and a response.
Yes.
I became quieter.
Hmm.
And after that, trust me,
Hmm.
we have never had a major argument. When he's talking, I
Hmm.
say, just a minute, I have to, kind of go and do something. I have a call to make. Mera doodh rakha hai. And I
Exactly.
create that space,
Right.
between
Yes.
a reaction and a response. And when I come back, when I have taken care of myself, I've processed the emotions,
Yes.
I'm
Hmm.
in better space.
Hmm.
So being mindful of what would be the consequences if
Right.
I also start reacting is a
Yes.
major lesson
Hmm.
that has really changed my life
Hmm.
and my relationships.
Yes. Exactly. And this is very, I would say, it looks very simple कि इसमें ऐसा क्या था हम चले गए, but it is very impactful also. And जो लोग जैसे नहीं होते, some people are there who speak very much very often in an argument, तो उनके लिए बहुत ही tough है कि to move from that situation and go somewhere or do something else or take a pause, but it is very impactful, I would say.
पर एक बार आ जाता है ना, तो ट्रस्ट मी, व्हेन यू स्टार्ट रीपिंग द
Yes.
consequences and
Hmm.
you feel कि oh, I have the power to change the dynamics, it is
Right.
so amazing. You feel powerful actually कि मैं
Exactly.
दूसरे को तो change नहीं कर सकती, but I know how to take care of myself.
Yes. I can totally relate with it because ये मैं करती हूँ. I mean, often I am mindful that I do this thing.
How nice,
So
how nice.
that's why.
And I'm sure you must be realizing how powerful you feel.
Very powerful, very after that we feel like कि अच्छा वरना ऐसे क्या होता था ना, we used to go in that guilt कि ऐसा नहीं बोलना चाहिए था, I should not have said this.
True.
But practicing this कोई ऐसा thought नहीं आता you are going in guilt or something like that. So
एट
it's good.
दैट टाइम आई एम टेकिंग केयर ऑफ माई सेल्फ. मैं अपने रूम
Yes.
में बैठ के नेटफ्लिक्स में एक मूवी चला लूंगी, एक फ्रेंड से फोन पे बात कर लूंगी, एंड देन
Right.
आई एम अ बेटर स्पेस एंड देन आई गो बैक.
Yes,
सो by the time the other person has also cooled down. So
exactly.
in relationship, I feel being mindful of the
Very
consequences
important.
is very important.
Very important. Right. And also, Jyoti, as you have trained army families also, school teachers also, and corporate professionals. So, what's that one common mindset shift that can create a lasting impact across all walks of life?
So personal my personal belief, it wasn't there, but over the years, as I started practicing self growth and all, I realized, things happen for us and not to us.
Not to us.
Not
Exactly.
to us, things
Hmm.
happen for us.
For us.
Any situation, if you can see what I am learning and how I am growing,
Hmm.
even I gave you an example of relationship dynamics.
Right. Hmm.
you, if I had not, this power that I have
Hmm.
got
Hmm.
to take a pause and move away from the situation is impacting my relationship. I can look at it कि यार हमारी लड़ाई इतनी क्यों होती है, and the other way of looking at it is कि what have I learned, how have I grown. I have
Yes.
learned the skill,
Hmm.
which is useful to me. So
Hmm.
this growth mindset, and like I said, things happen for us.
For
it
us.
is it is I had to grow as a person, and that is
Hmm.
why I'm having this argument. Not
Right.
that कि मेरी किस्मत ही खराब है,
Hmm.
क्यों हमारे arguments हो रहे हैं.
Hmm.
Now everything I look with those glasses or lenses.
Hmm.
That is one thing I have learned, having that growth mindset and not a fixed mindset, and at any point I can change as a person.
Hmm. Right. Exactly. And
Yeah.
also, just like you have studied mindfulness under monks from Plum Village that you told.
Yeah.
And what is the most powerful mindfulness technique that anyone can start practicing today? And what was the name of that teaching? You can please tell that because I am not able to pronounce that.
Yeah, Thich Nhat Hanh is the monk
Right.
from Plum Village, under whom I got trained, and he's the father of mindfulness. He's also known
Okay.
as.
Hmm.
So Shipra, it's about taking a pause.
Right.
It is Pause is the most powerful thing in the world, I feel. If you
Yes.
can, for a 30-second or even have 10 seconds, take that pause now, your
Hmm.
reactions will be different. And this
Different.
comes with meditation. You
Right.
change the physiology of the brain.
Exactly.
So I have been meditating for long, and
Hmm.
and also being with your breath. I
Hmm.
told you, if you were asking for one technique,
Hmm.
even 3 minutes in a day, if you
Hmm.
can be with yourself and be with your breath,
Breath.
that is one thing which is always with you. There is nothing.
Yes. Nothing.
That is why it's an anchor. So, breath
Hmm.
as an anchor, when you start focusing on your breath,
Hmm.
I have developed this very small tool for myself. Every time there is a WhatsApp call, before
Hmm.
picking it up, I take 3 deep breaths.
Okay.
Anything, most of the things. So
Hmm.
that I'm centered, I don't react.
React.
you know Even after,
Right.
if I switch off my
Hmm.
laptop or shut down my laptop, I take 3 deep breaths. खाना खाने से पहले बैठती हूँ, 3 deep breaths is my tool anytime for
Hmm.
being present, कि अब वो वाला
Right.
काम खत्म, अब मैं खाने का काम शुरू कर रही हूँ.
Exactly.
So
Hmm.
for anybody, and trust me,
Hmm.
meditation is the only thing that can change you from inside out.
Right.
बाहर से आप कुछ भी कर ले, if the brain
Hmm.
structure doesn't change, then the change is not permanent.
Hmm.
So just focus. And लोग कहते हैं मेडिटेशन आता नहीं है, मेडिटेशन में आने जैसी कोई चीज ही नहीं है.
Easy नहीं है.
Just have
Right.
to sit with yourself and breathe
Hmm.
consciously. और वो भी नहीं कर सकते तो just follow what is the pattern of your breath.
Okay.
So you will know if your breath is faster, you would know that there is something which is making me anxious.
Hmm.
Also, many times a day, I just take a pause, like I have told you, and ask myself, how am I feeling? And suppose
Hmm.
I feel, I'm angry about something.
Hmm.
Then I consciously take 3 more deep breaths
Hmm.
and become aware that what is it that made me angry? What was the trigger? And
Hmm.
now, before anything happens, my body tells me, you know. So
Hmm.
being with the body, we
Hmm.
always live on the head.
Head. Right.
Right. So,
Hmm.
um, tuning into your body, for that,
Hmm.
taking a pause and
Hmm.
focusing on your breath is one thing I would recommend to everyone.
Exactly. And also, like you said, na meditation. So what happens when people start doing meditation, when they sit in silence, तो वो जो थॉट्स आने लगते हैं माइंड में, फिर दे थिंक कि इतना सब कुछ आ रहा है, तो दे फिर छोड़ देते हैं कि नहीं करना ही नहीं है मेडिटेशन. तो हाउ टू ओवरकम दिस, लाइक व्हेन यू हैव स्टार्टेड, हाउ हैव यू स्टार्टेड?
तो माइंड का तो काम ही है थॉट्स आना.
हाँ,
माइंड
राइट.
का तो थॉट्स तो काम ही है आना. जस्ट ऑब्जर्व योर थॉट्स.
राइट.
माइंडफुलनेस इज नॉट अबाउट पुशिंग द थॉट्स अवे. थॉट्स तो आएंगे ही आएंगे.
आएंगे आएंगे, राइट.
Very gently bringing them to the breath. A thought comes, you accept it, and
हम्म.
then again focus on your breath. And with practice, that this becomes easier. That
राइट.
thoughts ऐसा नहीं है कि आप mindfulness में बैठे हो तो thoughts आना बंद हो जाएंगे.
हम्म.
तो उसके लिए हम क्या करते हैं? We could do something called body scan.
हम्म.
तो एट अ टाइम यू कैन ओनली थिंक अबाउट वन थिंग. जब आप बॉडी स्कैन करते हैं, सो
हम्म.
यू थिंक अबाउट योर फोरहेड, योर आईज, योर नोज, योर लिप्स.
राइट.
So when
हम्म.
you're focusing, your
हम्म.
thoughts, you can only think about
You
this.
can only think about this, right?
That is what I do
Hmm.
personally, and I never push the thoughts. Thoughts are,
Hmm.
are our friends. They are telling us.
Hmm.
So this is a myth about meditation की thoughts नहीं आए. बिल्कुल आएंगे. दिमाग
बिल्कुल
काम
आएंगे.
ही है, वो तो काम ही है.
हाँ, राइट.
Becoming aware of your thoughts is meditation. कि मैं क्या सोच रही हूँ.
सोच रही हूँ.
That is what is meditation. कि,
राइट.
oh, I'm thinking about the food, or I'm thinking about a friend who said
हम्म.
something to me. So
हम्म.
that is meditation, I personally feel, being
राइट.
very aware at a moment.
Hmm. And this comes with practice. When we keep on practicing daily for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, so then I think it will be easy for us.
For me, my meditation is non-negotiable. For me, it is like brushing my teeth.
Right.
I cannot do without it.
Hmm.
It's a part of my being. It's a part of my life. I call it
Right.
my mind hygiene. हम रोज नहाते हैं,
Exactly.
you
This is
know.
the best.
Yeah. So mind
Right.
hygiene. How to take care of your mind.
Hmm. Right. And this is very important. And this is the best term which you have given it, mind hygiene.
Mind hygiene. True.
Exactly. And also, Jyoti, as you are a psychologist also, so what's one common mental block that holds people back and how they can break free from it?
I feel procrastination is something which is limiting for lots of us.
Lots of,
हाँ.
right.
And procrastination is the bhai of perfection.
Perfection.
I am not good enough. ठीक
Hmm.
है. Why do we procrastinate? Because we feel
Hmm.
"नहीं, ये तो अभी हम अच्छे से कर नहीं पाएंगे."
हाँ, right.
और that is one thing. So that is one mental block. किसी को book लिखनी है. I also procrastinate. I wouldn't say I'm perfect. Some
Right.
things I don't, some I do.
Hmm.
I've been planning to write a book for ages, and my publisher has been telling me, I feel, oh, it's अच्छा नहीं आया. इतनी अच्छी अच्छी books हैं. People are writing
Hmm.
some wonderful things. So
Hmm.
that is something, and that comes from comparison. Like you would know better, that comes from comparison, perfectionism, and
Hmm.
I'm not good enough. ये सारी चीजें मिलके ना procrastination create कर देती हैं.
Hmm.
So just show up. Now I
Hmm.
tell myself, just show up.
Right. Exactly. This is
So
the best part.
best part,
Just
just
take
show up.
action. Whatever happens, it will happen later. You take action.
Yes. So earlier when I would, people will call me for sessions, so I would say कि नहीं नहीं अभी तैयारी नहीं है. Now I say yes first and then start preparing later. कि अब तो कही दिया है, so अब तो करना ही पड़ेगा.
करना ही करना है, राइट.
एंड आई एम
सेम
वेरी
थिंग.
कंपैशनेट नाउ. मैं अपने आप को पता क्या बताती हूँ शिप्रा, कि भाई सचिन तेंदुलकर भी हमेशा ही थोड़ी छक्के लगाता है.
एग्जैक्टली.
गुड डेज एंड बैड डेज,
दैट इज.
good sessions, bad sessions. So it's okay as long as you are doing it. And this one of my friends had told me, and it stayed with me. कहते हैं, ज्योति, हर every time you cannot be perfect. सचिन
राइट.
तेंदुलकर भी इतना अच्छा प्लेयर है,
हम्म.
हर बार सेंचुरी नहीं होती है,
नहीं
हर
मरता है.
बार छक्का नहीं होता है. He just shows up, he plays.
राइट.
3 रन में भी आउट हो सकता है. So those are the things I keep reminding myself, and yeah,
एग्जैक्टली.
that has been helping me.
Right. And also, I think this showing up, this is the key to consistency. What we say now,
Hmm.
showing up is that. And
Yeah.
people don't understand, they misunderstand consistency. मतलब कि वही same काम, same amount का काम we need to do daily. But
Hmm.
that is not, showing up is
It
very important.
is. Showing up is important. You are telling yourself, you're
Right.
keeping promise to yourself that, I have to show up. I have to do this. And I like it. Not have to, I choose to do this.
I
When you
choose
change
to
the word,
is better.
I have to is like, koi piche pada hai. I choose to do this.
I
And
choose to.
yeah, so that was a wrong thing I would say. I choose to do it is what I tell
Exactly.
myself.
Right. And also, Jyoti, you have designed wellness programs, you have designed happiness programs for over 30,000 army families. So, can you share a moment that truly validated the impact of your work?
Oh, I stay very close to the army area in Bhopal, and
Hmm.
we have a movie theater. So जिस दिन भी movie launch होती है, new movie, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the
Ah,
movie, I also go to watch movie.
okay.
So there is normally for the tickets, there's a Jawan, an army Jawan, who checks
Hmm.
your tickets whether you have taken or not. So one day
Hmm.
I'd gone to see the movie and he said, Namaste, madam. So I said, Namaste.
Hmm.
He said, आपने कल यहाँ पे, and it's also, it doubles up as an auditorium, movie theater
Okay.
and auditorium.
Hmm.
So I had taken a lecture a few days back for the army here in Bhopal, and he said कि मैडम आपने ही स्टोरी टेलिंग की थी ना. वो
Hmm.
आई सेड हाँ, पर आपने, कहते मेरा ड्यूटी यही था. और
Hmm.
उस दिन मेरी वाइफ घर आई और वो इतना रोई और उसके बाद से
Hmm.
बिल्कुल बदल गई है.
But
उसने, आपने एक स्टोरी सुनाई थी, वो कहती है कि मुझे वो इतनी अच्छी लगी.
hmm.
And I was like, my daughter was with me and I got goosebumps. I said, this
Right.
is the real impact.
Exactly.
It's not about what people are writing about you, how
Hmm.
much of followers you have on the Insta or Facebook.
Hmm.
It is this one incident. You have
Yes.
impacted that one life. And that
Right.
Jawan telling me, not even the wife. He said
Hmm.
the story she learned, she came home and she cried somehow. And after that, she's feeling so much lighter and better.
Right.
So yeah, that was a moment. And these are the small things, like that woman who said कि मैं तो रोटी ही बनाती हूँ. And I said finding purpose.
Yes.
And she
Finding.
started crying. She said मैंने कभी नहीं सोचा कि रोटी बनाना भी इतना important हो सकता है.
Exactly.
These two were really, really, वैसे बहुत सारे ये हैं, but this
Yeah.
happened very recently. So
Right. And these are really inspiring, also, I would say, transformational stories and very impactful and
true,
powerful.
true, true.
Right. And also, Jyoti, the science of happiness, as
Right,
we talk about, it is very fascinating. So,
right.
what's that one surprising fact about happiness that most people don't need know, but they need to know?
Okay. So happiness can be created in a moment.
Hmm.
People don't know. People are in a bad mood, तो they said कि नहीं, अब हमारा मूड खराब है, हम खुश हो ही नहीं सकते हैं.
Hmm.
But as a happiness coach, there is
Hmm.
a small technique called anchoring. So I asked them कि okay, I said think about a time in your childhood when you were very happy, and
Hmm.
when they start visualizing that,
Right.
the brain doesn't understand between the real thing and the, you know
Huh.
the pictures created.
Huh.
and immediately thinking about something very beautiful, closing your eyes, whether it is a holiday with a husband or a
Hmm.
birthday party, it
Hmm.
changes, immediately lifts your mood. And
Yes.
also, the emotion lasts for just 6 seconds in the brain. After that, it's the story you are telling yourself. अगर आप गुस्सा
Okay.
हैं तो वो
हाँ, right.
केवल 6 सेकंड्स के
Six
लिए होता
seconds.
है. उसके बाद you build the narrative कि इसने ऐसा किया, इसने ऐसा किया. उस 6 सेकंड में if you can snap back, you can be
Right.
happy. And happiness, another most important thing is, लोगों को लगता है कि you know हम खुश हैं या नहीं हैं. 60% of the happiness is in our hands.
Yes.
It's an action. Happiness is an
Hmm.
action. It's a verb. It's not
Hmm.
a noun. Is
Right.
what it is.
Exactly. And what I practice about happiness is always remain happy, but sometimes because situations so life hai, so it will come and go.
True,
So
true,
what I do is ki, if there is anything in my life going on, the first thing which I do is smile only. Just like
true.
this, I'll smile. It will automatically make a difference in my body, and that I have felt.
Absolutely. I also do it many a times, and in fact, not only smile. If you just put your head up like this.
Achha, okay. Hmm.
So this is the called power pose, they say. So
Right.
अगर आप
Yes.
ऐसे करके बैठे ना, पुराने जमाने में कहते हैं ऐसे सिर पे हाथ रख के
हाथ
मत.
रख के नहीं बैठना चाहिए. हाँ.
So this is the thing ki, oh, everything has gone, yeah. So you are
Hmm.
telling your body. The
Hmm.
moment you are feeling upset, I mean, yeah, I've taught to children,
Hmm.
basically. I said, just put your back straight and head up. You
Yeah.
can be assured you can never have a negative thought, because this is a
Exactly.
power pose.
Yes.
Everything is in my control. I'm feeling confident.
Hmm.
So like you've spoken about body and mind connection. One
Hmm.
is this smile, and another thing is just put your head up. You
Right.
cannot have negative thoughts. A
Right.
very, very small thing, but
Very small thing, but
very
very
small
important.
thing, very powerful and important. Even
Hmm.
just sitting upright with your
Hmm.
head like this,
Hmm.
as if you have a crown on your head. I
Exactly.
tell the children, just imagine having a crown, and when you
Down
sit
on
with
it.
the crown, your neck is straight, and
Hmm.
it's power and confidence.
Yes.
So that is one thing. Yeah.
Right. And this is I feel when I do this smile practice, I feel very light also and very powerful also that I am in control of my emotions.
True. And you change the vibration of a room.
Yes.
You change the
Totally.
vibration of a room when you enter with a smile.
Hmm.
Even I have spoken about lifting the mobile.
Hmm.
I also feel that even sound say people can assess your vibrations. So I smile, I think about that person and smile. And people said, oh, whenever you talk, somehow I feel very good about it.
Wow.
And this is one secret, when
This
you
I
enter
can
a room.
also. This
Yes,
I
yes.
will apply. This I don't do.
Oh, no, no. We all are learning, and
Ah,
it's a journey of learning. So,
exactly.
yeah.
And also, Jyoti, your expertise spans across education, psychology, storytelling. And if you had to choose just one of these as the most powerful tool of transformation, what would it be?
Definitely, and most definitely, and always storytelling.
Storytelling.
Always storytelling. Because we are hardwired for stories.
Hmm.
बचपन से सुनते आए हैं, our
बचपन से सुनते हैं.
ancestors. So
Hmm.
stories are very powerful,
Hmm.
very powerful. आपका
Hmm.
1 घंटे का वर्कशॉप उतना बड़ा काम नहीं कर पाता है जितना एक छोटी सी स्टोरी. लाइक आई टोल्ड यू अबाउट दिस वुमन, आई हैड टोल्ड
Ah,
हर
right.
स्टोरी,
Yes.
एंड दैट स्टोरी स्टेड विथ हर,
Hmm.
एंड दैट इज व्हाई वेयर शी फेल्ट द ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन.
Hmm.
सो ही टोल्ड मी दिस जवान, ही सेड जो आपने चिड़िया वाली कहानी सुनाई थी ना, तो वो
Hmm.
उसको बहुत अच्छी लगी थी. आई सेड ओह, ही
Hmm.
नोज एक्चुअली.
Right. बिकॉज बचपन से जब हम लोग सुनते आ रहे हैं ना तो वी आर कंडीशन और माइंड इज कंडीशन वो हमें जल्दी समझ में आती है स्टोरी और जल्दी याद हो जाती है स्टोरी
और
सो
वो
आई थिंक
प्रीची
दैट
नहीं लगती. अगर आप
हाँ
उसको ये करो वो करो तो वो प्रीच हो जाता है, एंड द
राइट
रेजिस्टेंस इज देयर. बट
हम्म
स्टोरीज के संग तो रेजिस्टेंस ही नहीं है. आप बिल्कुल, अच्छा फिर अब क्या होगा.
फिर अब क्या
So your attention is
क्यूरियोसिटी इज ऑल्सो देयर इंटरेस्ट इज ऑल्सो देयर
true, true. The whole attention is there. So and it goes deep down into the subconscious.
राइट
Stories का सबसे when you read about the science of storytelling,
Hmm.
there are changes in the brain when you are listening to the story. There are changes in the physiology, your
Oh.
hormones, and
Hmm.
that is why it's so scientific. It's
Hmm.
so scientific because physiology change हो रही है आपकी.
Right. Exactly. And also for someone who is listening today and who is feeling stuck. So whether in their career, in their relationships, or in personal growth. So what's the first step they should take right now to unlock their true potential?
So let me tell this through a very small story, Shipra. We are
Sure.
talking about
I would love.
storytelling. There
Yes.
was a little bird, a
Hmm.
very little bird. She
Hmm.
was hungry and she was flying here and there and here and there looking for food.
Hmm.
And she found a small piece of bread
Hmm.
somewhere. She picked up the piece of bread and started flying high in the sky, looking for a place to sit down and eat peacefully.
Hmm.
And when the other bigger birds saw this small bird with a piece of bread, they started flying all around her, उसे घेरने लगे उसके चारों तरफ, because they
Hmm.
also wanted the bread.
Right.
And now this little bird, she was tired of flying and flying and flying and, became helpless. She
Hmm.
said, I need to do something. And she was tired. She
Hmm.
decided something and she dropped that piece of bread.
Hmm.
And as she dropped, there was no fear. She started flying high and higher and higher up in the sky.
Hmm.
So, what is your piece of bread which you are holding on to,
Holding back.
which you need to drop to
Wow.
fly high in the sky? It could be
Exactly.
procrastination, it could be judgment, it could be
Right.
perfection. So, this is for anybody. Just think,
Anybody.
sit down and think what is your piece of bread which you have to drop if you want to fly higher
Right.
in the sky. It could be an action you have to take.
Yes.
So, this is a story I love so much,
Yes.
and it's applicable to anybody.
Anybody. And it is very powerful story. If we think or listen to the story and follow what it is saying, then I think we will be also able to fly high.
True. And what is your piece of bread, Shipra? I want to ask you. What is holding you back in any aspect?
My piece of bread. I think since I am in this learning process, so I have overcome almost many, but still I think uh, that discipline or that action taking, I do, but still there's some lack which I feel
Yeah,
that I need to
For
drop.
me, it's sometimes judgment about others up to a large extent, but still I tend to judge people, which I would really want to let go. You
Right.
know. So all of us have our breads which we
Yes.
need to let go if
Which
we
we
want to
need.
fly high. So
Right. Exactly. And now, after this wonderful, amazing conversation, we are going to have a rapid fire round with you.
oh,
And
okay.
so, first question is that one book that changed your life.
One book by change my life. Roots by Alex Haley. It's a
Oh,
beautiful book. It's about how African boy overcomes his challenges in life.
okay. Great book. That's and the best advice you have ever received.
Hurt people. So whenever this, I think we have a common mentor, and Pooja
Yes.
often talks
Puneet.
about it.
Yes.
So when somebody does something to me, I say, "Oh, hurt people, hurt people. She must be
Same,
hurt."
same, same. I also say this, and I also say one more sentence, which is they are operating from their knowledge, which they have. So I need to be more polite to them,
True, true. Yeah.
right? And if you had to describe your purpose in one word, what would it be?
To create a happy and compassionate world through stories.
Wow, amazing. And one habit that keeps you grounded every day,
My mindfulness and meditation practice for sure. For sure.
right? And if you could sit down for a coffee with any of the one historical figure, who would it be and why?
Oh, I love Oprah Winfrey. and how
Same here.
she
I
has
also.
risen from the challenges. So it would be Oprah Winfrey for sure.
Right. Same here. I really get inspired from her very much.
True, true.
Right. So thank you so much, Jyoti. And it was really an incredible conversation with you. Your insights on storytelling, on psychology, on mindfulness, meditation. I mean, you explained it in such a simple language and easy steps you told that how everyone can do it. So the way you have impacted so many lives is really awesome and amazing.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Shipra. It was a pure honor and joy being with you and
Thank
talking to
you.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And to everyone who is listening, please tell us that what insight hit you hard today from this conversation. And also, don't just listen, take action and share it with anyone who need to hear this. And if you want to learn more from Jyoti, all her details I will share in the description. So don't miss out. And Jyoti, thank you for being here. It's been an absolute honor having you here. So
Thank
thank you so
you.
much.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. And see you all soon with the next episode. And till then, take care and bye bye.